Yeah, sad, more lives being lost. There are contesting narratives right now from Israel and the Palestinian Health Ministry about what exactly did happen near Gaza City that killed at least 112 people, caused hundreds of injuries. Palestinian officials say that Israeli forces opened fire on the crowd as they were waiting for food. The IDF says Gazans surrounded the aid trucks, and as a result, there were dozens that were killed because of pushing and trampling. Some got run over by the trucks. Witnesses say that many people were hurt because they got rammed by the aid trucks that were moving too fast, trying to escape Israeli fire. Right now, U.S., Egyptian, and Qatari mediators are working to get a truce before March 10th, when the Muslim holy month of Ramadan begins. So far, Israel and Hamas are not in an agreement on the terms of that deal. President Biden says the aid incident adds more urgency to these truce talks, but will likely complicate the negotiations.
I was on the telephone with the people in the region. I'm still probably not by Monday, but I'm hopeful.
Robert Sherman joining us now live from Tel Aviv with the latest. Robert, such a sad story of these civilians killed. What is the continued fallout right now and the impact on the talks?
Well, as you mentioned, Marni, there's a lot of back and forth here, and there's a lot of finger pointing that's going on between both sides. The general consensus, now that we're 24 hours removed from it, is that whose fault it is to an extent beside the point. It is what is left in the path of all of this here, with a big focus now on scenes like this one that you're seeing right here. The U.S. has been warning Israel about the decaying of civil order inside of Gaza as an effective consequence of the war that is ongoing here. This is something that the U.S. has been talking about, so trying to find some way in order to reestablish that order there. But this is something that has a lot of people concerned. Other mediating partners, such as Qatar, have called this a new massacre. You have some countries around the globe who are allies or friendly to Israel calling for answers here. All of those questions remain to be answered at this point. But as you pointed out, Marni, there's now more pressure among all parties who are dealing with this to try and get some kind of a ceasefire deal across the table. And right now, we don't have one in place, but the pressure is certainly on in order to get one. And it's been hiked up now that you've seen a situation such as this.
Right. It further hampers it, and the concern over the hostages. What more do we know about the talks surrounding the hostages specifically, given that it's been so much time since they've been held captive and no proof of life?
Those conversations are still ongoing behind the scenes, and everyone is still keeping Ramadan in their mind, that beginning March 10th of next month. That's the effective deadline that the Israelis have put in. But everybody would like to see something done before that deadline comes into effect, especially some of these hostage families who we've seen demonstrating on the ground here again today in front of the U.S. Embassy branch office in Tel Aviv. You saw large swells of people out there today, some of them carrying 134 stretchers in order to symbolize the hostages, the 134 hostages still being held inside of Gaza. And at that demonstration today, you see Israelis, but you also see Americans. And there seems to be a shifting of focus. Instead of calling on the Israeli government to do more, calling on the United States to get involved. Take a listen.
I think everything President Biden can do to help us is amazingly, because right now this is our only hope, and we really need any help that we can. The government here does not put the hostages on its front concern. It's horrible. The American administration is sometimes more committed to the hostage situation than the Israeli one, and this situation is horrid, really. We have to put this to an end.
As we've been reporting from the beginning, Israel has said since the start of this war that there are two main objectives. One of them is bringing the hostages home. The other is destroying Hamas. That has been a criticism on the ground here that is palpable, is that some in Israel believe that that second objective is being weighed more by the Israeli government than bringing the hostages home, and which is why you see demonstrations such as that one calling for more to be done to get those loved ones back. Marni.
All right. Robert Sherman in Tel Aviv, thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.